if you get bored with this job, you can teach economics in the Institute of Management.
Laboni Jana has a first-class degree in economics. She's 26 years old and lives in Calcutta. Today, she's lucky. She's got a seat on her 2-hour journey to work.
So you really just don't have the first idea when the bus is going to come?
Yeah, no idea.
And how long can the gap be? An hour or?
As long as, yeah.
Really? God.
It's a miracle that anyone gets anywhere in chaotic Calcutta. Laboni works for an NGO, a non-government organisation, on the outskirts of the city. The Child in Need Institute, CINI, is primarily concerned with healthcare for mothers and babies. Laboni went to university in Delhi, but chose to return to Calcutta to live with her parents. Most of her contemporaries are working in banks and multinationals.
Sometimes it change twice, thrice.
You don't think of coming to live down in this area?
No.
Infant mortality in India has gone down since independence, but it's still far too high. 7% of Indian babies die from inadequate health care. CINI is one of many charitable organisations supplementing state health services. Mothers from the surrounding villages come here because they find the doctors and other staff are more dedicated than many of those employed in government health centres. The service is more personal, more intimate, and there are no bureaucratic hassles.
Antenatal card.
I see.
This mother, she's pregnant. She's
Yes.
come and this is antenatal card and she's talking about the various checkups she has to do.
I see. Yes.
For
Yes.
the birth of a healthy baby.
Yes.
This is a TB card.
Someone with a TB?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see, yes. Is there a lot of TB around here?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
We've got another NGO working.
One of the reasons that poor people still have large families is that they can't be confident their children will survive, or if they do, that they'll grow up strong and healthy.
So this is the emergency ward.
Right, it's the emergency ward. And we've got 12 beds here.
Yes.
And when the doctors see the case is very acute from that
From the clinic.
they refer the babies to here.
I
And
see.
here they stay for 2-3 days.
Yes.
And after the baby is improved a bit, then generally we send them back to the hospital, or in case of malnutrition, as with this baby, she was suffering from malnutrition, then we send both the mother and the baby to the
nutrition
yeah, right.
Of your end.
Yeah, and in winter, most of the cases are basically bronchial and respiratory problem of the babies. But we cannot afford to keep them for long. Just 2-3 days, and after they improve, and we.
So you're not a hospital organisation,
No,
basically.
no.
The baby like that, will he or she get better, do you think?
Yeah, gets better.
She
Yeah,
will get better.
yeah.
Well, that's nice, isn't it?
Acute malnutrition is marasmus. Yeah,
Marasmus.
yeah,
Which means acute malnutrition.
yeah. It's form of acute malnutrition.
Yes. So you're becoming a doctor as well as a statistician.
Yeah. You have to pick up these things.
Yes, well,
If you're
you
working with an
seem to be
health-based
picking them up
NGO.
very quickly.
I have to.
You live with your family. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a younger sister.
And is she going to do this sort of work, do you think, or what?
I don't know.
You don't know?
She's,
What is your
doing-
father? What does your father do?
He's a geologist.
He's a
working in
geologist.
Geological Survey of India.
Was he pleased when you chose this sort of work?
Not much. Initially, he wanted me to join some bank or something like that.
I see, for security and money.
Yeah. But now he has reconciled to the whole idea and accepted the fact that his elder daughter is going
This way.
Yeah.
বেশি বেশি খেতে হবে তার সঙ্গে জল খেতে হবে বেশি করে জল যদি কম খাও দেহটা শুকাবে
Poverty in countries like India isn't necessarily so much of a problem as ignorance. In this nutrition class, mothers are told how it's possible to have a healthy and balanced diet of cheap and readily available food.
তারপরে যেই 4 মাস বয়স হবে তখন ওকে একটু যেই
And you do find this education is very effective.
Yeah, and the idea is, you are demonstrating the whole thing to the mothers,
Yes.
so that they can go back to the community and explain the thing to other women in the community.
Oh, so they actually go back and
Right,
explain to others.
right. So that
it has
is-
a knock-on effect. really.
Right.
And that really does work. doesn't it?
Yeah.
Laboni uses her skills as an economist to supply the statistical backup for CINI.
To September.
And this is an analysis of all the main diseases which you treat.
Yeah.
Malaria,
malnutrition.
malnutrition.
Yeah, this is
It's important for Laboni's colleagues to know whether their work is producing results and what methods are effective. While at university, Laboni did consider working for an organization which would provide the conditions and pay that economists can expect.
I always thought I would take up teaching or maybe bank or something. The usual, what generally people think an economic student will be doing. But while I was doing my post-graduation, I had a course on Indian agriculture. And as a part of that course, we went to Rajasthan and visited one NGO. And I was so impressed by the whole thing, and you know, I decided that this is very interesting and I'd like to do something of this sort. So that was when I took the decision to come into this field and see how it is like.
I'm not sure whether you're going to admit to this, but was there an element of wanting to do good, wanting to serve people that made you go into this?
Well, of course, actually I love to be with people. And when you're doing this kind of a thing where the pay is not, of course, as you said, not that good, something should be there, yes, of course, which will give you some kind of satisfaction where this thing gets compensated. And there I'm happy with this. I mean, whenever, especially when I go to the fields, it's really something, you know, to work with them, to be with them and to get the feel.
And to see the achievements which are made.
Yeah, right.
Laboni is not unique. There are many other graduates who choose to work with NGOs in the countryside. Most Indians still live in villages. Although this one is just outside Calcutta, there's a world of difference between life here, where there are no modern facilities, and the cities where India's wealth is concentrated. Bridging the rural-urban divide must be a top priority if India is not to become a country of very rich and very poor.
মোট হলো কত? মোট পুরুষ সংখ্যা হচ্ছে 1411 আর মহিলা হচ্ছে 1350।
This afternoon, Laboni is explaining the lessons to be learnt from a recent survey of the village health, education and sanitary conditions. These women conducted the survey themselves with the help of CINI. Because many of them are illiterate, Laboni has taken care to produce easily understandable visuals.
স্বামী জীবিত আছে এরকম যে দম্পতি হবে সেখানে কোথায় কোথায় মারা গেছিল কোন কোন পাড়ায় মনে আছে আপনাদের?
The villagers feel at home with Laboni. All too often, government officials seem like people from another world. There is undoubtedly a certain wisdom in village life. Laboni understands that she has to learn from the villagers before she can help them.
The most important thing is interacting like what we are doing. We're interacting directly with the community and trying to understand what the community is demanding. And when we are dealing with these things, the question of sustainability comes in. When we are going to leave, what will happen after then? So we have to think from the very beginning that how to involve the community so that when we leave, they can take up the role, take up the issue and continue on their own.
It seems to me that one of the real differences between the voluntary movement and the government is that you have a different type of morale, you have people like you who are motivated, whereas government people are not motivated.
Well, I do not think so, because we have seen government officials also who have taken a lot of interest in all these things. I mean, of course, there are people in the government who are not that interested. Yes, there are, and they just take the thing as a job. That is also there, but we have seen different types of people. I should not say the government people are not motivated at all. I should not say that. We are standing in a very important point now. And now the thing is, we must work with the government. I mean, we cannot work outside the system and then basically strengthen that system. That is where our role is. It's not working outside the system.
So your role is to act as a catalyst for the government?
Exactly, right.
And as a strengthening of the government's administration?
Right.
CINI is partly supported by foreign charities like Save the Children and UN agencies like UNICEF. But it's only Indians like Laboni who can make that money work. They alone can help villagers to help themselves, so that the new wealth being created in India isn't bottled up in the cities.